Good evening and welcome to the Village of Romeoville's meeting this Wednesday, April 1st, 2026 at 6:01 p.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Palmeyer. Trustee Chavez.
Here.
Trustee Clancy.
Here.
Trustee Richards.
Here.
Trustee Griffin.
Here.
Trustee Aguirre.
Here.
Mayor Noak.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Trustee Richards, will you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Mr. Bendel, always nice to have you join us. Welcome this evening.
Good evening. We got some fresh stuff today. Good evening, Mayor, board members. Let's talk about our solicitor's license permit. Solicitor is supposed to register, come in, get all qualified. Solicitors come out on Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Would you believe when you call our PD non-emergency number, they have no way to find out if these solicitors are registered because it gets locked up at 4 p.m. when Village Hall closes. So now they have to do that. They send you to Laraway. Laraway has to dispatch an officer to the property. They have to attempt to contact the number on the door hanger. They're hanging on the door right below the no solicitor sign to find out if these people are licensed or registered. Now, we have no clue who's running through our community with this stuff. We know you have some critical background checks on some of these people doing this. Possibly somehow we got to take care of this small fault and get access to RPD to be able to know who's registered, who's not, because some resident could call and they say, yes, sir, they are registered. That would save the police having to respond to a call where they could be off at better things. Like the motocross track at Romeoville Crossing that you installed. They love that dirt bike hill you just put up. All weekend long, they're out there tearing up your snow hill. Wonder what you might be able to do about that. Possibly secure your property by fencing it in, limit their access, because they're coming down the bike path, walking path down ComEd, past the sign that says no motorized vehicles, through the trees that the man who's in charge of that project stated we're leaving the trees there so nobody can walk through, where you can fit a 250, 150 dirt bike through there, people can walk through. There's no signs back there for usage. All the signs for that sledding motocross hill you built are on the south side of the property. State, no use after unless 2 inches of snow accumulation. This is all that's used on this. Maybe you need a bunch of more signs. Maybe you need some more trespassing signs. Just a thought. You hear them all weekend long. Then you hear the units appear. You hear the sirens on the squads go weep, weep. They take off through the trees and down the bike path they go. So while we're on the back there, we still have numerous trees on the village's property where these children are out there playing with a whole bunch of dead branches, broken branches. Some people call them widow makers up in these trees. Good wind could knock these trees down to the children that are out there playing in the community. We think they need a safer thing out there. Other than that, everything's going good. Public Works is doing fantastic. We called them about a sign. They got on it real quick. Fire department's doing great. Everybody's doing good. Police is doing good. They responded quickly. We just got a few things that I observed this week. And you all have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. That's all the sign-ins we had for public comments. We'll begin with our presentation, which is ordinance 2048, ordinance authorizing execution of a real estate purchase agreement, access easement agreement, and temporary construction and easement agreement. Mr. Vogel.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is another fairly significant piece of the Lake Michigan water puzzle so that the village can complete its goal of bringing Lake Michigan water to the residents as a member of the Grand Prairie Water Commission. This particular collection of agreements is designed essentially to exchange what's the existing village water tank site that's addressed as 1306 and a half Marquette Drive. We have an existing water tower there, Ultimately, the end game is that tower is going to be removed. There's going to be a new tower constructed on a parcel of property immediately adjacent to our existing site. That property is presently owned by the Herlihy Mid-Continent Construction Company. So what these agreements propose to do is essentially to trade their existing parcel for the existing village tank site. Because we can't accomplish all of this simultaneously, we're going to be exchanging the property initially, and then they're going to grant us a construction easement over the site where we need to put up the new tank. After we put up the new tank, we then demo the old tank, and in the meantime, they will have some temporary access easements, through the village's property in order to get there. At the end of the day, the village is going to also grant them a permanent access easement. The village property where the current tank site is, if you can imagine, it's shaped like a flag lot with a strip running from Marquette Drive to where the squared off piece where the tank is located. We'll be granting them an easement over that, as well as over an additional sort of a turn lane, if you will, from that property into the larger part of their site that they currently have occupied with a yard and a building. The other item that's going to make this happen, the board has already approved last year. In order to get started with some of the due diligence and soil boring work that had to be done, we granted them a license for the vacant lot that the village owns on 135th Street for them to store some of their Jersey barriers and equipment. That removes it from the area where the village needed to start doing its due diligence and where it will ultimately be engaging in construction activities, hopefully sooner rather than later.
And if I can just add one little thing, we are still working on some wording with regard to ComEd in the agreement, so if we'd ask the board to approve this pending village attorney and village manager approval.
Thank you. Yes.
Very good. Any other questions or comments?
No, I'm good.
Move on then for a consent agenda.
Moved.
Motion for consent agenda by trustee Griffin,
Second.
second by trustee Aguirre. Any further discussion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Griffin,
Aye.
trustee Aguirre,
Aye.
trustee Chavez,
Aye.
trustee Clancy,
Aye.
trustee Richards.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Very good. Within that consent agenda, then, we have minutes 26:01:22, approval minutes, regular meeting, March 18th, 2026. Minutes 26:10:23, approval minutes, special meeting, March 24th, 2026. 26:35:97, approves bill Schedule A. 26:35:98, approved bill Schedule B. 26:35:99, approved bill Schedule C. Ordinance 26:20:47, ordinance amending Chapter 80, Schedule 5, stop signs, and Schedule 11, yield signs. Resolution 26:41:83, resolution accepting the lowest proposal and entering into a contract with Midwest Salt for the supply and delivery of water treatment salts. Resolution 26:41:84, resolution authorizing execution of an amendment to an amended and restated contract with All Around Amusement, Inc. Resolution 26:41:85, resolution approving an agreement with Sunshine Down Productions and the attached rider. Resolution 26:41:86, resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement for the Joliet Metropolitan Area Narcotics Squad. Resolution 26:41:87, resolution declaring surplus property and authorizing disposition of surplus property. Resolution 26:41:88, resolution accepting of public improvements for 639 Independence Boulevard, Romeoville, Illinois. Resolution 26:41:89, resolution approving a professional service task order for the Robinson Engineering for the 2026 infiltration program.
So moved.
Motion to approve by trustee Griffin,
Second.
second by trustee Richards. Any further discussion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Griffin,
Aye.
trustee Richards,
Aye.
trustee Chavez,
Aye.
trustee Clancy, and trustee Aguirre. Motion carried.
Very good. Mayor's report, we'll start with, gets the business out of the way. We'll start with public hearing 26/24/30, a public hearing for the 2026-27 fiscal year budget.
So moved.
Motion to open a public hearing by trustee Chavez.
Yeah,
You guys are very excited over here. Second by trustee Clancy?
Yes,
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Chavez.
Aye.
Trustee Clancy.
Aye.
Trustee Richards.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Aye.
Trustee Aguirre.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Very good. You guys want to make a couple of quick statements first?
Thank you, Your Honor. Tonight for your consideration is ordinance 262045, presenting the 2627 proposed budget for the Village of Romeoville. This budget reflects our continued commitment to strengthening the community and Romeoville's future, investing in essential infrastructure, supporting public safety, and easing the tax burden on our residents, and ensuring long-term financial stability for the community. Christie's going to go over just a brief summary of what was presented on March 24th for the village board, and she'll go over just briefly, but overall, there was 142 capital projects that are approved within the budget. If there's any additional questions on the budget, we'll be happy to answer them, but a full copy of the budget will be on the website for the public.
For FY27, total expenses of $183.4 million are proposed and supported by $187 million in revenue and the strategic use of fund balance reserves. The 26-27 balanced budget ensures operational expenses are fully funded through current year revenue, decreases the village's property tax rate, and increases the homeowner property tax rebate, all delivering meaningful value directly to our residents. Following the March 24th budget presentation, a few refinements were made, including deferring $6.9 million for the downtown parking garage to fiscal year 28 and reducing the park restroom project by $372,000. This budget invests $51.8 million in 142 community projects, including street resurfacing, water main replacement, multi-year wastewater treatment plant upgrades, police department's technology upgrades, and park upgrades, as well as other numerous infrastructure improvements across the village. The budget also reaffirms the village's commitment to delivering Lake Michigan water to our community, allocating $3.9 million towards Marquette storage and pumping improvements. With this proposed budget, reserves are projected to reach $277.8 million, above the village's minimum operational target, and a strong indicator of Romeoville's ongoing financial strength to fund future capital projects. Overall, the proposed budget highlights the village's dedication to financial stability, enhanced public safety, investment in infrastructure, and continued quality of life improvements for all of Romeoville's residents.
Very good. Anyone else to speak on the public hearing? Anyone else to speak on the public hearing? Anyone else to speak on the public hearing? Again, motion?
So moved.
Motion to close the public hearing by trustee Griffin.
Second.
Second by trustee Gary. Any further discussion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Griffin.
Aye.
Trustee Aguirre.
Aye.
Trustee Chavez.
Aye.
Trustee Clancy.
Aye.
And Trustee Richards.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Very good. As was noted in the presentation, once again, this budget reduces, this is the 11th year in a row, I believe, reducing the village's property tax rate, which is, and also, once again, this will be the another year that which the amount that's going to be rebated to residential homeowners will also increase again this year. I believe we are the only taxing body within our jurisdictional co-boundaries to do that. But a reminder for folks at home, village on your property taxes is roughly, give or take, 10%, depending on whatever overlapping jurisdictions you have within the community. The vast majority of your property taxes actually go to the other taxing bodies. I think the village does quite a bit, if you follow us on a regular basis, with 10%, roughly give or take 10% of your property tax, but we do quite a bit with that. So if you do have questions, concerns about your overall property tax, we always encourage you to certainly reach out to your township assessor, the other taxing bodies, and the county treasurer's office, and avail yourself of all of the resources that are available there to make sure that your property taxes are as accurate as possible. But once again, village will reducing your rate for our port and giving you an even bigger rebate for those homeowners out there. So happy to be doing that. So proclamations now. 263594, proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Wow. I'm going to give that one to Clancy.
All right,
He's really excited about that. You want to second that one?
sure.
All
I'll
right, so
second that.
motion by trustee Clancy, second by trustee Griffin. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. So we don't have somebody to present it to, so we will give this to them later, but we will thus proclaim April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Month. And I will have that available. Next, we have 263595, proclamation for Arbor Day.
So moved.
Oh,
Second.
You're good on that one. Motion by trustee Griffin, second by trustee Richards. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays, the ayes have it. Somebody taking this one? No, we don't have a presentation for this one either. Again, we want to, we've had a very good partnership with the Arbor Day Foundation. We once again want to proclaim Arbor Day again, April 24th, 2026. Since we don't have anybody presenting it to today, I'll refrain from reading the entire thing. But the village has continued to maintain one of the highest ratings by the Arbor Day Foundation, and we very much value their partnership and continue that. We have some very aggressive programs going on, and going forward this year, especially with the new Bluebell Festival, a way that educate people about some of the resources here, start out the season very strong, and we look forward to doing more with the Conservation Sustainability Commission and all of our efforts on the environment and nature. A lot of great things happening, within that budget too, are a lot of those activities, and I'm very proud of how much the community's grown in its acknowledgement and embracing our native areas along with everything else we do, so. Thank
And
you.
we did, Your Honor, we did just receive the new designation for the Tree City Award, too. So we just
Very
received
good.
that.
And we once again received both levels. Very good. So we received the highest level of certification for the Arbor Day Foundation for Tree City. So that's great. Our team does an amazing job on that. Rest of my report. First of all, I want to, two things, a little more national. I want to definitely send my best wishes to the crew of the Artemis II. Interestingly enough, as I reflect on it, the last time our country sent a crew to the moon, I was born. So it's been a while, as you see those grays on my hair. So I think as a country, we should be very excited. No matter what else is going out there, it's a great achievement. And look forward to the success of this crew and them returning home safely, and hopefully more to come. So on a definitely serious note, no matter where you are on other issues that we're facing internationally, I want to definitely send out my thoughts and prayers for all of those who serve our country around the world, especially in those areas that are seeing conflict right now. And hopefully they all return home safe to their loved ones here in our country. So I want to thank them all for their service. Also a few other things. Been a busy few weeks again. We had the ribbon cutting for Hibbett Sports. Absolutely beautiful inside. Great facility. They made a nice donation to a community group. Really excited to have them in our community. They're over there by TJ Maxx and that shopping center for those who are not familiar, may not have seen it. And then also, shortly thereafter, soft opening, and we'll have a more formal ribbon cutting for Rack Room Shoes. If you've never been to a Rack Room Shoes, they're like they've got a lot of major brands, kind of their own format inside. Brandon, who's the manager, got to meet him the other day, stopped in the day they opened the doors. Very nice, came to our area from up north and from a store they used to have up that way, and we got a start and came down to this area. And really just absolutely amazing inside. We joked, and I think we put it on social media, the biggest wall of Croc shoes, if you like Croc shoes, I think I've ever seen. And even he's like, this is the nicest Croc wall we've ever done. So that was kind of interesting. But lots of big name brands, a lot of variety for all ages, all backgrounds. So go check them out. We just went from having a small amount of shoe options to having really good shoe options with both those stores and other things that both of them sell. Kind of two ends of they book in each other pretty well in that center, and now that center is completely full again in all the inline space. So excited to have all that happen. And in fact, Rack Room Shoes we'll have that ribbon cutting on April 7th. Also, while we'll be having the ribbon cutting for Scooters on 53, Scooters Coffee, they're open. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about it already, so that's very exciting. We're going to be doing a grand reopening for Anytime Fitness on April 13th. And I had the good pleasure of a lot of meetings this last thing, but I had a really special one. I was presenting with Doug Pryor, who runs the Will County CED, at one of the first what they call we're calling the Century Plan at CMAP, which is our regional planning agency, which is looking for, what we do for the next 100 years in our region. And Doug and I actually presented and was on a panel at one of the first ones that they had on March 20th. And it was an honor to be part of that process and speak at it with a great panel talking about the future of the region. So happy to be a part of that. Lots of else going on, way too much to talk about. So I will turn it over to our clerk's report.
Thank you, Mayor Noak. My report is short. We met, the Valley View Educational Enrichment Foundation Board met last week. We basically are just assessing and evaluating the March fundraiser and beginning to make plans for the golf outing in June. And for those of you who attend the golf outing, it fills up real fast. So I will let you know when you can begin to purchase your tickets. Some of you most likely have already made plans for that ahead of time. And our next meeting is April 16th here in Romeoville at 7 p.m. And by that time, I should have more information about the golf outing, when you can actually purchase your tickets. Okay, that's the end of my report.
Very good. Village Manager report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a couple quick highlights here. First of all, just in regards to the comments that were made this evening, all active solicitors are listed on our website. So if anybody wants to see who has solicitor licenses, they are available on our website. Secondly, we will have a new e-bike ordinance before the board at the next meeting on April 15th, so you'll be seeing that. And then just some dates that are coming up for reminders. We will have our building department open house on April 14th from 4 to 6 here at Village Hall. We will have the Public Works open house on April 16th from 10 to 2. I'm sorry, May 16th from 10 to 2. And then we have NICOR, on April 16th is NICOR will be having their Community Connection Resource Fair over at the Rec Center. That's all, thank you.
Very good. New business. Let's just take them individually. It's just as fast, if that's okay with you. We have ordinance 26-2045, an ordinance adopting the annual operating budget for the fiscal year 2026 through 2027 of the Village of Romeoville, Will County, Illinois.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Griffin, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Shabbat. Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Griffin,
Aye.
trustee Chavez,
Aye.
trustee Clancy,
Aye.
trustee Richards,
Aye.
trustee Aguirre.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Very good. Ordinance 26-2048, ordinance authorizing execution of real estate purchase agreement, access easement agreement, and temporary construction and access easement agreement.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Griffin,
Second.
second by trustee Aguirre. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays, the ayes have it. Very good. We're not spending any money on that one, so we can do that one. Board comments, trustee Schmitz, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just want to start off by saying thanks to our Mayor John, Dawn, Christie, and all the department heads and their teams for doing this 26, 27 budget. You know, it's a big task, you know, everybody wants everything, and obviously we can't afford that. But it's good to see that we work together, and we're doing it again for another good year. And things that caught my eye, and when Christie was speaking, or caught my ear, when Christie was speaking earlier about the finance and the budget, 2 words stuck out in my head, and that is stability and strength. And I think those are 2 key words that really explain what we've accomplished again. And I just want to say many thanks to all involved that participated, all department heads and their team, right? It takes a whole team to get all this done. It's a big job. So I wanted to say thank you publicly. One of the nice things I saw about the agenda today, I don't know if everybody caught it, but we're preparing for Romeoville Fest. We got the all amusement round contract done, right? We're doing more things to get ready to prepare for Chicago Water coming down the pipe soon. No pun intended there. And of course, it was also good to see that we're continuing our, what's it called, the narcotic squad agreement with all the surrounding municipalities. That's important stuff, you know. That's all part of communicating with other municipalities to keep our drugs down to the minimum, keep it away from our kids. So in general, I think it was a really good meeting, a good agenda, and those are the things that I pay attention to when I look at these agendas. And in closing, I just want to wish everybody a happy Easter season and a good weekend, and let's go Cubs and Sox. That's all I have, Mayor.
Before I call you, Trustee Griffin, I ask you, do you mind if we re-bring up ordinance 26, 2048, and amending it with pending final village manager attorney review?
Certainly.
And since you seconded it, Trustee Geary, do you concur with that? Okay, so can we then repass based on that? Is that okay? So we would recall it with that amended version to amend it to reflect that. So there's a motion by Griffin and Geary to amend the previous motion to reflect final village manager and attorney review. And then I will call for a new roll call.
Okay. Trustee Griffin,
Aye.
Trustee Gary,
Aye.
Trustee Chavez,
Aye.
Trustee Clancy,
Aye.
and Trustee Richards.
Aye.
The motion carried.
Very good. I caught it. Now, Trustee Griffin, please, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to remind everyone that the Veterans Commission scholarships are now available for high school seniors residing in Romeoville. Applications can be found on the village website, and the deadline to apply is this Friday, April the 3rd. And I also just want to wish everyone a very happy holy season, Holy Week, and let's, spring is just around the corner.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all.
Very good. Trustee Clancy.
Thank you. First of all, I just wanted to say a great job done by all for the budget. That was tremendous, and it was great to hear. And then the Athletic Event Center will be hosting a prep hoops from the Chicago kickoff, and that'll be April 10th to the 12th. If you have any questions, it's 1-815-552-3283. And then it's flag football time for spring football. The Romeoville Rec Center is happy to announce their first ever NFL flag football season, which will be starting this April. And it says games begin Saturday, May 2nd. Hope to see you there. If you have any questions, dial 1-815-886-6222. And that'd be it. Thank you.
Very good. Trustee Richards.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Short and sweet again. I do want to thank everyone for the work and effort they put in on the budget. It's a big process. It basically starts tomorrow for next year again. I mean, it really doesn't end. Budgets are living, breathing documents that every director, manager, department head, and all the people under them are working on constantly, monitoring, moving things, making sure that we can provide the services we do. All that hard work is what helps us to provide everything we do for the residents. So appreciate all the effort put in. And then, of course, for those of you that celebrate Easter, have a very happy Easter. Enjoy this week. And if you don't, just have a great weekend. Thank you.
Glad you said Easter. Hey, I was like sneaking up on me here. Well, And I must acknowledge, we have ended a very big month for us. For those who are familiar, it was my wife's birthday yesterday. So her birthday month's over, so you can all breathe now again.
That's
So-
one of my family like that, too. It's a birthday month.
Which, in Easter being where it fell this year, just kind of threw me off. So, yeah. Trustee Aguirre, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's see here. Our next meetings for fire and police is Tuesday, April 14th at 6:30. For conservation and sustainability is Wednesday, April the 8th at 6 PM. I want to also thank everyone for keeping up with the whole budget and keeping us informed about how healthy we are, budget-wise. So, and then another announcement, you have till April the 18th to purchase your Monarch planting kits that you will be picking up at our first Bluebell Festival at O'Hara Woods on Saturday, May 2nd, from 9 to 1. There'll be activities, coffee trucks, that sounds like the morning group will be loving that. Hikes through the woods with O'Hara Woods, or hikes through O'Hara Woods led by a conservation ecologist, bird walking conducted by Will County, Audubon Society, learn about the history of the O'Hara Woods, and then, of course, again, the Monarch Garden kits to be picked up, and you can go on the website to purchase them. And also rain barrels, $25 off of the purchase, limit to one per household, and it's plenty of rain, good time to buy them. Pickup will be open house for Public Works on Saturday, May 16th, 2026. That's all I have. Happy Easter and enjoy the weekend. Thank you.
Very good. Dawn has been kind enough not to give us executive session, so.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion to approve Trustee Griffin, second by Trustee Richards. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays, the
Mayor
ayes have it. We are adjourned.
These are sugar-free. Are you okay with those?